What's going on? You tuned in to the All Points Podcast. We're the freshest crew. I go by the name of Ato.
This is Tim the Chat Man.
And that is all for today. See y'all at... Nah, joking. Yeah, it's just me and Tim up in the studio today. We just decided, hey, we don't want to let the fans down. We wanted to make something for you.
That's right. Last week you got an All Points, what was it, A or clip B, sample B. Now you get an AT.
See, and here's the thing, okay? It's just going to keep getting smaller and smaller.
Right.
Until, like, you know, it's just like one of us in here. So right now it's just like the finals. So you getting the best of the best right now.
That's right. They ain't chased us off. We here. We going to leave our territory.
That's right.
I'm going to make sure they see my ass print when they come in on Friday in this chair.
See, we don't let nothing get in the way. We don't let kids get in the way.
That's right.
We don't let relationships get in the way.
Not pets
Not
in the
pets.
way. All these damn monkeys getting in the way right now.
We don't let you know, our mental well-being get in the way.
No. The train never stops over here. It just keeps going perpetual motion.
Hey, you know what? It's the Juggernaut team.
That's right. I'm with it.
What's going on, sir? I missed you the other week, though.
Pissed, Alex.
Why? What's
Pissed.
going on?
Them damn monkeys, man.
Oh,
My
no.
whole year has been nothing but, or this last 2 months, nothing but monkeys, and it's driving me crazy.
What monkeys? What do you mean by that?
Well, first it was Big Brother Wukong, you know, had me in a W hole for a while there, just doing nothing but Wukonging, and then Sparking Zero comes out, and I can't find a physical copy anywhere. It pissed. I literally just went across the way from the studio and asked if they had a copy. They're like, "We just sold the last one." I'm like, I fucking hate it here. I can't find a physical copy anywhere. I ordered one from Best Buy, but it won't be here for like 2 more days. I'm like, no, I want my shit now. I want to play.
You can't wait 2 days.
No, because I'm going to be out of town. And then I'm like, I won't get to play till like next Tuesday.
All right, well, you know what? Just like the show, don't let kids get in the way.
That's
Don't
right.
let the job get in the way.
Nothing.
Nah, how come? What do you got? You got some like work shit to do or what?
It's actually my anniversary. So me and
don't
the
let
wife is
anniversaries
heading
get in
out
the
of
way.
town. No, love doesn't win here. It's just the two of us. Love don't win no more.
You gotta look her in the eyes. You gotta like flick the hair back and be like, baby, if you love me, we'll skip this anniversary and wait for the next one.
Don't worry, I will gather the Dragon Balls and I will get you a better anniversary. Just give me some time, okay? I gotta beat Grade 8 Vegeta first. You know, he's giving everybody the blues.
Oh man, because I saw this post. It was just like, if I got to see this cutscene one more time, and it was like Goku laid out on the ground, and it was just like basically Goku has fallen to Vegeta and whatnot. So I guess everybody's stuck at that shit.
Well, apparently what's really crazy is not only is Grade 8 Vegeta extremely difficult, but after you lose a fight like 2 times, it gives you one of those prompts. It's like, would you like to lower the difficulty? I ain't no bitch.
It's like, just for that, I'm making it harder.
Right?
You should be able to do that.
I mean, I think it's literally just default, and then there's easy mode, essentially.
Like, hey there, buddy. Maybe this mode isn't for you. Maybe,
Right.
Maybe you need the Scooty, or was it the Weenie Puff Jr.?
Maybe you need Dragon Ball Z, Kai. Maybe Dragon Ball Z is just too much for you.
See, I wanted to get it, but I mean, honestly, I don't care about having a physical copy. I understand, you know, but me personally, I'm just like, if I got the game, cool. If for some reason Steam decides to like take it, I'll just pirate it. I don't give a fuck.
That's fair. I mean, my main reason for doing it is like, you know, I look at the value of like other Dragon Ball Z games over the years, because eventually they always stop selling them, and then one day they're just suddenly worth more than what they probably were brand new at one point, because it's like people love them. There's always that cherished game. Like, imagine how hard it's got to be to find a Budokai 1 right now.
I got a Budokai 1.
Got one, but could you find one?
Well, it's true. Okay. Well, me, I don't have to find one. I just go
Fair.
to Jonathan's
You got
spot,
yours.
by the way. Just if anybody was going to rob him, just so you know.
Yeah, he's got a Budokai 1, 2, 3, Tenkaichi.
He got that old fucking like NES Dragon Ball game that was like where they first had the little beam struggle shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He's got Rayman. He's got all the Raymans.
He's got Pepsi Man.
Oh God, not Pepsi Man. That one is whew.
Oh man.
I've never played that game, but I've seen it, and I'm like, I cannot believe that this is a thing that like
if Pepsi got desperate, they bring him back though.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like if they could make Pepsi Man like a viable game right now. Honestly, I'm surprised there's not another version of it on Steam already at this point.
You would think, because it was like it faded into obscurity. Nobody cared about it.
Right.
And then just out of nowhere, Pepsi Man comes back and everybody's talking about just memeing the fuck out of it.
Yeah, and I'm like, where did this come from? And I'm like, this is back in the old days of when, you used to go to the store and there'd be a demo disc you could just take that have like 20 games on it.
Funny you mentioned that, because like I was just, I don't know if you've ever gone to Vim's it's an emulator place, right? They got everything. Vim's Lair, look that shit up. But so I was just looking through and I was like, man, let me just find something that I wanted to play from one of them demo discs and never did. And then I get down into like the M's no, it was in the A's. Yeah. So I was in the A's and I was just going through, and then I see it. I see Ape Escape.
I knew you were about to say Ape Escape.
What, you got that demo too?
I played, a friend of mine had it. That game was just hard as fuck for no reason.
I never knew, because like I could only play that first level. And it was just like, all right, this is easy. I caught him, blah, 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 done. Demo's over. And it's like, all right, well, maybe if I'm lucky enough, I might be the one to get a free or new game. No, never did.
See, that was back in the day when almost all video games were challenging, Ape Escape, PS1 Spider-Man. That's another one. Glover, I never could finish the game. It just got too hard at one point.
You know what? That's one I've never played. I need to go and play that shit too.
Glover, it feels like a pipe dream, really. Like, it feels like it should not be a real game, but it was, and it's one I could tell you nothing about that game from memory, besides the hand being on a ball, but I just remember the painstaking hours I put into it and never beat it.
Anytime that I would see like the commercials for that, I would get hungry.
Hamburger Helper.
There you go.
Yep. He made me think exactly of that. You play Mega Man 64?
No, but the one Mega Man that I actually got into that I never beat was X.
I actually was listening to a video on the history of X recently.
Yeah.
So much, it's edgy Mega Man.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's like the first one is just too lovey-dovey, too nice, but this one is just like, nah.
Wait a minute, I might be thinking it wrong. Is it the one where X is that's the first time he's introduced, like where you start off and you're in like the city that's being attacked and whatnot?
Yeah, that's X. Yeah.
Okay, I just want to be sure. Okay, yeah.
Him and Zero.
Yeah, Zero. I'm tripping. But yeah, man, I there's a did you ever watch like Ego Raptor? Have you ever heard of him?
Ego Raptor?
Ego Raptor. Okay, well, he's a dude who like did animations like Metal Gear Awesome. Have you ever seen that?
I've heard of it.
Okay. Well, he did those animations and whatnot, but he had this whole thing like sequelitis, and he's talking about like it's like one of the best games that actually teaches you to do things instead of having like fucking tutorials and shit. And it was just like, I like how he did that, so I'm gonna play it. Got my ass whooped just up and down. I was like, fuck, I can't do this. I had never played any Mega Man, well, except for it was like Mega Man 9. You remember that?
I know of it. I think that was one when like they hadn't made a Mega Man in a long time. Is that the one? And then they brought it back
to like
and
the
it
retro
was like,
style.
whoa.
Yeah. Well, we got a friend Nate. Our friend Nate was like, "I will give you $100 if you can beat this first level."
That bad?
Oh nah, it never happened. Never happened.
Mega Man games are just unnecessarily hard for some reason. I don't know why that is.
They carried over like a lot of that arcade style, where it's like, yeah, we just want to steal your quarters.
Pretty much, but it's like we're gonna steal your electricity instead. We're gonna make you sit here for hours, and you're just gonna be pissed off because you gotta go through this whole level again because you lost to fucking Proto Man or whatever.
And there you go, sitting in the middle of the living room in your drawers, eating your bowl of cereal. He's like, well, I don't pay for the electricity here, so you're just running up that shit.
It's just a gerbil on a wheel somewhere.
Man,
oh, shit.
How much would you dislike your younger self if your younger self was your son?
At what age?
I mean, like, we're talking like 8, 9, maybe, yeah, like the 7s through the
I wouldn't
the
like
10s.
that little nigga.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah, me neither.
At all. I do not like younger me. I'm like, I would hit younger me with an RKO so
For
fast.
real.
Just like, stop being so damn awkward, man.
I would give him pre-whoopings.
Right? Just because you thought about it.
Exactly.
Just because you're thinking of doing it.
It's like, I know who you are. I know what you're thinking about.
You gonna try it again.
And I guess it depends on the time too, because like if they're up like in this era, oh no, I'd I know I'd have been like, I haven't tell you a story, okay?
Bet.
All right, so I was around that age where you start, looking at Skinamax and you got the channel, you got the little channel back, right? Yeah. So what we did, which was brilliant, right? See, you got to be smart with that one. See, most people would put it back to like Cartoon Network or something like that. What we would do is, because the Cartoon Network was 63, we put it at 62 and then go up a channel. So if they grab the remote and then put it back, you would just go back to that 62 channel. They would think, see, a lot of people didn't think about that, right?
Okay, I see. Okay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Okay,
so we had to think a little ahead, right? So we, and this is include Jonathan too, because he was scheming, but
Shy City scheming.
Yeah, you got to. So we were like, this is like in the AOL days, and so. We had been browsing on the internet, and it was kind of obvious that like where we were going, right? So I remember being in the living room, and it was me, my mom, my older brother Michael, and I forget, it was maybe like a guest, and so I guess you could see like the history of where it went, right? And she was just like, yeah, it's so weird because like I see this one website, it's called Asian Pleasures.
Not Asian Pleasures. That is exactly where y'all would be.
And I'm just sitting in there. I was like, I ain't saying shit.
Whoever says anything is a snitch.
Yeah, so it's like they knew, I knew they knew, but I wasn't gonna confess to that shit.
No, absolutely not.
So me as like, with a fucking smartphone, that nigga.
Oh no, everything, man. Like it's weird because it's like not having the access to Pornhub anymore unless you have a VPN. I'm like, man, Pornhub is my oldest friend. I ain't got no friendships longer than my friendship with Pornhub.
Have you done the little verification?
No, I'm not. I refuse to. I won't do it.
Well, see, that's the thing. Is like, all right, so it's reasonable, all right.
Yeah.
Because it does like a age verification, like not you just put on your camera, and it uses it's like AI or whatever the fuck. Now, I haven't looked over the terms and conditions. I don't know if they actually don't store it. But I just kind of want to, get the business done. So, I'll throw caution to the wind.
I just got an alert on my phone that was absolutely stupid.
What was that?
So last year, the Los Angeles Rams, this is a fantasy update. The Los Angeles Rams traded their running back Cam Akers over to the Minnesota Vikings. Minnesota let him walk this offseason, and he went to the Houston Texans.
Okay.
He's now played 6 games with the Houston Texans, and the Minnesota Vikings have traded back for him. Like, so let me understand this. You traded for this man once already. You let him walk, and then you traded for him again the very next season. And I'm like, I swear whoever it is that sent that down to the front office that said make the deal, they're just like,
man,
do you know what they're going to say about us when we do this? Do you understand? I don't care. Make the deal.
Yeah, like, see, they got to be hurting if that's the case. If they let the man walk, because I wonder if it was like a contract negotiation thing that was just like, he costs too much.
Really, he was cheap, honestly, because he hadn't even had a like big running back contract because he kept getting hurt. Like, he's not a bad back. It's just he always is hurt all the time there. And like, as a Patriots fan, I watched us do the same kind of shit. There was a player we would not pay him, and so we let him walk. He went over to another team, played a season there. Very next season after that, we traded for him again. I'm like, so now we got to pay him anyways. Good fucking job, Bill Belichick. Good job.
I mean, maybe that's why now after
circle jerk.
I mean, like after Brady left, right? Because I know he went straight to
Tampa
Buccaneers, right?
Yep.
And then they won that following year, and then he just dipped.
Pretty much, he played I think he played 2 more years after that. Maybe it was just 1. I think it was 2 more.
Yeah.
He did okay the second year, got out of the playoffs, but that last year, you could just tell it was not He wasn't doing Brady things. He wasn't breaking tablets anymore, and that's when you knew he didn't care anymore.
See, that's what I was curious about, because I know that people are like, yeah, he was the Patriots, you know. So like after he dipped, it was just like they didn't have any good. Well, I don't say any good players, but
nope, we didn't.
Nobody to his
defense.
level.
Just defense. Offense was poor.
That's crazy.
Still poor.
That's crazy.
But trending up better. We just don't have an O-line.
Yeah, you need you probably need like
everything.
Oh, okay.
We need everything. We just started our rookie quarterback this year, and this game, and he didn't do too bad. We got blown out. That's more. I'm gonna blame that more on the defense, because it's like, what the hell are you doing, allowing 41 points to happen there? Like he did everything he could. Defense didn't do their job.
Yeah.
He turned it over some, but still, I'm like, he's a rookie. It's his first game. Y'all are vets. Come on, get it together now. But I'm excited potentially for the future there. You know, if we can build around him properly now that Belichick is gone. He's a strange man.
Wait, he's gone?
Oh, yeah, we fired him last year. At the end of last season, we got a black head coach now.
No shit.
Yep. His name is Gerard Mayo. Not patriotic at all. Oh, yeah, the amount of times that we've lost, I know them people out there, them Boston people, they done drop some hard R's on this man.
Yeah,
I know
for real.
And I'm like, whoo, he having a hard time leaving Foxborough like that.
I can see it right now. He's like, yeah, they traded Belichick for Nickacheck. Like, you know, I feel like that's gonna happen.
I'm using that. It's like, it's Gerard Nickacheck.
I'm just like, well, yeah, it's mad when you can like predict fucking racist like behaviors.
You can. It's like someone's gonna do it. Someone's gonna hear us somewhere and be like, Nickacheck, yeah, I'm gonna use that.
They go, you know what? This is what's gonna happen. It's gonna catch on from here. And we're going to be in Wikipedia with the fuck.
All Points Podcast, coin Gerard Mayo, nigga check. Oh my Lord. That's really how that shit kind of catches on. It's
right.
Like, I didn't want that to be the thing that was tied to my name, but sure, there it is.
It's kind of, well, I mean, but if Hawk to a Girl can, like, you know, make a whole
podcast out of that.
Yeah, top 5 podcasts in the world shit, then we can too.
My oldest daughter walked up to me yesterday and said, Dad, what is Hawk Tua? I said,
Oh, God.
What is Hawk Tua? I'm like, nothing important at all. And I'm like, oh, my God.
See, but if you can't make a big deal out of it, you can't, like, react. You're like, nah, don't you ever look that up. Don't you ever. Just ignore that.
Exactly. That's the thing, parents. Is like, either you try to be oblivious and act like it doesn't exist and just tell them to leave it alone, or, like you said, you blow up and make a big deal about it. Those are the things that draw them to it. If you act unsurprised, like it doesn't matter, they are instantly almost disinterested, because it's like, oh, it's not worthwhile looking at.
See, I was curious about that, because, like, I would imagine that they're still a little curious, so they're just kind of like, okay, let me just
a little bit,
let me just Google a little bit,
but you quell it to some degree. Yeah. It's like if I get a free moment one day and it pops back in my head, I might check it out, but it's not like I'm trying to go figure it out the very next day.
Okay.
It's just like, oh, it must, if they're not tripping about it, it must not be that cool.
Okay. Wait, how old is the oldest?
12.
Okay, so she's self-aware enough to be like, she could probably start picking up on that stuff in a couple of years.
She could, and it's like, well, I mean, she really don't have access to the internet like that. I kind of took it away, so she can't go on websites without my permission on her laptop there. I got to approve every website. She got a flip phone.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
Yeah, she ain't figuring it out on my dime. That much is true.
Yeah, but when she starts
working, she has school, that's different. I don't know. I can't control what happens there.
See, I don't know. Well, I guess you can't do it on, because you ain't got an Android. There's an app that I used to use, Cerberus, right? And you can just lock it down, so it's like, you know, you get reports of like what people are using. It's just a basic like MDM, you know, fucking device, right? But one of the things I learned about it is that you can have it so then if the location is disabled, you can turn it back on without them knowing that it's on, and it'll look like it's off.
Oh, so, that's good.
I was like, yeah, if I ever, you know, get ambushed by any of my kids that aren't mine.
Kids that aren't mine. I just visited a few sperm banks when I was over in Thailand. Don't worry about it.
Not yet. Not yet. But I was just like, yeah, I can just do that shit, because like I can't imagine. Like I said, me with the smartphone back then, it would be a fucking menace.
The kind of things that you would be doing between Chromecasting and all that stuff. The part that gets me is the older people who get into it now and they realize the same kind of stuff that we do and just how they fuck up about it. Like, I saw one where this woman, she had dropped her man off for a haircut, and she's like, he didn't realize he was still connected to the car. And so he started playing a video and it said Pornhub.com. And I'm like,
yeah. That's happened to me once.
Man, that time when you hit that Chromecast button one time and you accidentally hit it, you just like,
oh yeah,
oh shit.
No, crack the phone open.
It just gotta break it. It's like, no, gotta stop the transmission.
The worst part though is that cause like, especially at YouTube, it'll have your face up there too. So.
Yep. It'll be like Tim Mammoth 19. It's like no.
Yeah, like okay, so there was a time when I was looking at like Doom mods, right? Mm-hmm. Have you ever heard of H Doom?
H Doom?
Yeah. So I'm looking up Doom mods because I wanted to see like there's one that's like really, it's like your base Doom game but with like a whole bunch of extras. Like you can have like different like light shadings and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So you got a lamp or something over there. It'll actually look like it'll take lighting into effect and whatnot. Mm-hmm. It's really cool, right? And then I got curious about other ones, and this sounds like a excuse right now. Mm-hmm. It's not. It's for real, okay? Well, H Doom is funny as hell.
Is everything Hulk Hogan?
No.
Okay.
H is like hentai.
Oh God.
See, like they turned all the fucking demons into like these women and whatnot.
Oh God.
So you get to like, because I mean you played Doom, and so you know what all of them look like, right? So you know like the little Kako demon, the little flying head one. They just like slap some titties on it.
Oh my God.
It's fucking hilarious.
Oh,
so I'm
Lord.
cracking up about that on my phone. And
is it pixelated too?
Well, what I'm doing is, yeah, it is pixelated. The same like style as like the Doom games, right? So I'm sitting here going through, and I'm just looking at the pictures of it, and I'm just cracking up and whatnot. So I was like, okay, I gotta see this shit. So I go on YouTube and I look up H Doom and whatnot, and I didn't realize that in the kitchen, you know, there's like a little Bluetooth thing that I connected to because we were playing some bullshit. But I'm just sitting here, and I'm like, wait, why is there no volume? And that look, I was like, you know, just
it was the sound effects too, wasn't it?
Yes,
like,
it's the sound effects. So like, you know, what they do is like after you get to the point where they're like on low health, then the dude can fuck them.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's
let me guess, it's
funny.
like a giant dildo instead of a chainsaw, isn't it?
No, wait, actually, yeah, it is.
Yep. That wouldn't surprise me.
So I mean, I did install it. No, I'm fucking around.
If I could be a modder and just create a bunch of like crazy ass mods to put in games like for work, that would be hilarious. Like, can you imagine you playing Fallout and it's just like, all right, give all the Deathclaw's tits. What? Give all the Deathclaw's tits.
I'm sure that exists. Like,
I'm sure it is, and I'm scared to find it.
Just because of the way that the internet is. I mean, like the fuck that you can get Randy Savage in Skyrim.
Have you seen the Randy Savage Deathclaws?
Yeah, I've seen
those.
That shit
are so fucking. Every time they come, yeah, brother.
He's like, oh man, I'll say it a million times. The internet was the worst mistake.
It was
the best mistake ever.
They would have never guessed what it was going to become one day, and if they did, they're like, oh God! Like if someone was to go back in time and give the inventors of the internet like a full brain scan detailing everything that the internet will become, they'd be like, shut it down.
Yeah.
Shut it down now.
Destroy all of our work.
None of it. Burn everything. Everyone in this building dies today.
Yo, for real. You tell them, it's like, and they're like, yeah, so this thing, the internet, you know, it's going to be able to connect people from all around the world. And then you fast forward to the future where you've got like two people in fursuits who are like, you know, doing some role play
over here. Just
or just let them loose on like, well, I guess it's defunct now, but like Omegle.
Oh God, yep. Omegle's bazoo cam, something like that.
Jesus.
Oh, that shit would be crazy. That would be crazy.
Me and the homie Josh, we used to go on Omegle, right? And we used to look for those people who were like baiting. And I put our voices on like a vocoder. And so then I was like playing a chord, and then we were just sitting there saying, "We caught you jacking off."
If that doesn't mess up your stroke count, you're truthfully a freaky ass motherfucker. Like, how you gonna have somebody singing at you? We caught you jacking off. Beating that meat. Beating that meat.
That shit was funny as hell.
Speaking of meat, though, so I was listening to the B clip. I can't remember the name of the episode. I'm just gonna keep saying B clip.
Hey, that's fine.
B-side. That's what it was. B-side. Yeah. And Jonathan really cracked me up because he was talking about National Geographic orangutan titties.
Yeah.
And it got me thinking, and I'm like, is there a subreddit for that?
Oh,
like,
God, of course
I'm
there
like,
is.
No. I tried to search it.
Really?
I'm like, is there a subreddit for that? And then I searched it up, and like, I just typed in orangutan just to see what showed up. And one of the things, it wasn't NSFW, but one of the things it brought up was our orangutan penis lore. And I'm like, I'm afraid to learn what this is about, and I don't understand how that's not NSFW.
Wait, our orangutan penis is what?
Orangutan penis lore, like
Lore.
mythologies, secret stories about orangutan dicks. And I'm like, again, the internet don't need to exist because what the fuck are we doing here? I'm like, this is probably the strangest subreddit I've ever encountered. We don't need that.
I mean, but now that you say it, it's like, well, why would they need lore?
Right? It's like, well, what are they doing with them?
Do they have like magical powers or something?
Is there like acid or something? Like, what do they do? But I'm like, I'm too scared to know because I'm like, I feel like it's gonna be Gene's gonna talk bad about me. I'm like, here you go again with these random animal dick facts, and I'm like, look, they find me, I don't find them, man.
Hey, listen, all right, you've opened that can of worm. Now you got to fish.
God damn it! I like that you opened that can of worms. Now you got to fish, man. So I got a question here for you, Alex.
All right, what's up?
So I saw here recently. I'm gonna pull up the picture of it so you get a good idea of what this looks like.
Oh God.
So there is a there is a art museum where visitors must squeeze between nude models to enter this art exhibition.
Oh God.
So people at home, because we don't have video, so I can't post this up to give you an idea of what it looks like. So imagine you go through a doorway, but on one side of the door frame, there is a naked, buff black man. And yes, I say that because you got to imagine what he has.
Yeah.
And then there is a naked female. Doesn't matter because that doesn't change the other thing. Well, if she was Latina, she'd probably stick out further. But
Right.
they're both in the door frame, and you got to walk between them. They don't move. You got to walk between them to get in.
Yeah, you got to turn sideways.
So from the male perspective, because the one obviously you got to be worried about is the guy. You going pole to pole, or you going bun to meat?
I'm going pole to pole. You know why?
You going pole to pole?
Because I'm going to knock that motherfucker out.
You're like, I'm going to look him in the eye.
It's like, I'm the dominant one.
He's like, your shit going to be bruised.
I mean, because, either way you lose, right? Because you go pole to pole. It's like, oh, that's gay. You just wanted to touch dick tips.
Right.
And then you do it the other way and be like, oh, that's gay. You just want a dick on your ass. So you can't win.
You can't. There really is no winning. But then someone was like, well, you're missing the third option. You do a handstand and go
Dick
meat
to
to
mouth?
skull. And I'm like, oh, my God.
I mean,
It's like that didn't get any better. But
I mean, if you did, though, if you're, all right, let's say you're facing towards the woman, but then you go handstand walking. He's got a dick on the back of your head rather than in your face.
That's true.
I mean,
I'd probably get, if it had to be a choice, I'm probably getting hit in the back of the head with the dick before anywhere else.
right. Because then.
But I can't do a handstand, so that's out of the that's out of the call for me.
Yeah, you get some people who are like gymnastics where they just do a flip over them or some shit like that.
Perfectly vault through them,
Right,
like they're
exactly.
fucking Gru from Despicable Me or something.
Nah, man. I mean, you gotta search of dominance, right? So
It's true.
if
Well,
if what you gotta do to get in there, just look him right in the eye,
right.
and just walk by.
Well, Kyle's not here, so we had to have our dick-related question.
We
just
did.
to-
I mean, it's
to
what it
fill in
feel
the
right.
gap. That's
See,
right.
we know this is what the fans want too.
Exactly. It's like you come here for the dick jokes and everything else that we bring in between, but mainly the dick jokes.
Yeah, especially that dick between your ass.
Nigga, what? So, Alex, do you make beats?
Used to. I don't do it so much anymore, but I've been wanting to get back into it.
Well, if you make another one, I got a challenge for you.
No, what's that?
So I want to see somebody make a beat that's like a good beat that you could even rap to, but it has the Black People National Anthem in it somewhere. Part of the beat has to be a smoke detector needing batteries.
Oh, fuck. Ah, shit.
Just randomly, like it just starts, ding, and then just randomly throughout the song, like it's part of the beat. You got to put the smoke detector in the beat.
See, you would have to, it couldn't be like every measure. You couldn't do that at every measure. You probably have to do it like every 4 bars or something like that. Just and here's what you do. You just kind of like put it very subtle in the back. So like, see what I would do, all right, is I got the beat going and whatnot, and I'll put some reverb on that so it's got some like echo and whatnot. But then bring the volume down so where it's just like it just floats like right under the beat. So then you think you hear it, but then you pull the headphones off and think that's you.
I'm so glad you said that. I was gonna be like, you got to do it like when you hear sirens in a song and you're not sure if it was the song or if there's actually police near you. But I'm like, I just want to confuse as many black people as possible by playing that.
See, here's the thing though, man. Like, I think that's unfair because that don't happen in our household. Like, the smoke alarms never go off, like, or the beeping never goes off, right? Because we removed all the smoke alarms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we ain't got to worry about that. I think that is fucked up that they keep saying that's us because it's not. Even though when I was on Pornhub and I was watching some like, you know,
you hear it in the
BBC and whatnot, that actually happened. It was some amateur porn. And I'm just sitting there looking, I was like, damn, that's fucking deep. I was like,
someone said that's what melanin toning is.
Melanin toning.
And I'm like, bro, it really is a noise that, especially for us 90 kids, I feel like, it's just like, we all heard it to the point of where we didn't notice it, you know. 90s, late 80s kids, like we didn't notice it because we got used to it, and then we all moved out and got our own houses one day and like, what the fuck is that?
You know, that I honestly, I thought that was just
what they did.
Yeah, I thought it was just an indication that it was working.
Yeah, I'm like, I thought that's what it was supposed to do. You mean it's not supposed to do that?
Yeah, it's like, I mean,
it's like whatever. It's been beeping for years. And then, when does the battery die?
And then the irresponsibility of our parents of not knowing what that means and changing them out.
Right.
You know, we need to sue them for neglect.
You know what? You know, we might be onto something there, though. You might be able to, if you were able to file a lawsuit against your parents for not changing the smoke detector battery as child neglect, do let us know here at All Points Podcast because we can make this a class action.
We can get you a $300 settlement. Just fucking.
If not, we'll give you some dubby that we loosely put our wet finger through.
And you know that's enough to get you through the day.
That's right. Some of this grandpa's denture water over here.
Yeah, man, I want to crack that thing open.
Man, did Kyle end up getting some for his own self too?
I don't think. Oh, I know he has some dubby, but not that one in particular.
Do our listeners have some dubby though?
Well, they can get some dubby.
That's right. All you have to do is go to w.gg.com, correct?
No, just w.gg.
w.gg. Go to w.gg. Type in the code all points and you can get 10% off.
10%
you know what that
off.
You know what that 10% can get you?
That can get you a lot of dubby.
That can get you a lot of dubby. That could almost get you 2 things at Dollar Tree now because it ain't $1 no more. That's false advertising. Change your name.
It should be $2 Tree.
$2 Tree. Five Below ain't shit below $5 no more.
Yeah, but they would never hold dubby, right? Because dubby is reasonably priced, not $2.
Oh, yeah.
So you can get your dubby today.
And if you're lucky, maybe they're doing a BOGO sale. Ooh. I know they run those every now and again.
We get emails about that.
That's right. So why don't you go ahead and get signed up so you too can be in the know. But what better way to sign up than after you have used, again, the code all points to get yourself 10% off. Wait on that sale now.
I heard if you snort it, it's better.
Yeah, definitely. Or if you boof it, you know, you just get.
I ain't boofing shit.
It's crazy that I'm like, when I heard about boofing, I'm like, one day someone was just like, this cocaine ain't getting me high enough. What do you mean? Like, it's not getting me high fast enough. Well, it's not like, what are you supposed to do? Eat it? I'm going to put it in my ass. What? Somebody somewhere said, I'm going to put it in my ass. And they were apparently a genius.
And they're like, damn.
What the fuck? I felt it right away.
Damn, baby.
I absorbed it already. And it's just like, y'all be. them people, they say that people who adventure into space, the depths of the ocean, the pioneers, no, drug addicts are the true pioneers. They be trying some shit,
figuring that
man.
shit out.
They be doing some dangerous stuff.
Like who the fuck thought of whippet? Like came up with whippets?
Exactly. I don't even know what whippets are, but I know that they are crazy as hell.
Yeah, it's fucking like nitrous oxide, whatever. Just basically like because people would get it from like back in the 80s from like whipped cream containers because they had some in there just like for pressure, and then people would just and get high off that shit.
I thought it came from stuff like that. So, see, this is exactly why I got to get carded for a bunch of random bullshit in the store because everybody want to get high off of shit.
Right. You fucking like get you some coughs or some cough medicine and a bunch of other shit, and they're like, "You're not gonna make meth, are you?"
Right? You get some good strong glue. It's like, what are you using this for? It's just flex tape, dog. I'm trying to seal something.
Yeah.
Duct tape ain't shit no more. This is what I need now.
Is that okay? Let me. Duct tape. It's
tape
funny
is
that you say
shit
that
these days.
It don't hold nothing no more.
Nothing. It doesn't matter. I bought ducks. I have bought Scott. Okay, there is one type of duct tape that is extremely sticky.
Yeah.
But it is only sticky to itself. It sticks to nothing else.
The Gorilla?
It might be. Gorilla is actually probably the only duct tape that does a decent job. Everything else, I'm like, I don't remember duct tape of yore being like this. Duct tape of yore was extremely hard to pull off of itself, and once you put it on something, it was pretty much super glued on there.
It was there, wasn't going nowhere. You probably got some shit that was put like on duct tape like 20 years ago that's still holding.
Somebody alternator held together with that old duct tape right now.
Somebody had their catalytic converter cut and they just put some duct tape on it.
They muffler hanging off with that old fashioned duct tape. This new shit though is just overpriced and it's bad.
You know it's too bad though.
What's that?
That's how you know we old.
We
just in there, man. Duct tape don't hold like it used to.
Duct tape don't hold shit no more.
This that like middle-aged man. Fucking, I remember the good old days and fucking.
But I do.
I mean, yeah, you can't deny it.
Yeah, everything is cheap now, and it just like it sucks. I hate spending money on anything because nothing lasts anymore. Like I realized the other day, I'm like, yo. A whole generation has no idea what layaway is.
Oh, yeah, right.
And it's like for our young listeners, people who are probably younger than 20, if you don't know, layaway used to be this thing that you be in the store with your parents, and let's say your birthday or Christmas was coming up. They take you in the store and be like, okay, what do you want? This, and that. They would give it to the person at the back of the store, and they put it on a list and say, okay, it's this much. And your parents could go in there, make payments on it, no credit check, no interest charged on it. But back in about 2012-ish to maybe 2015, they did away with it. Maybe even earlier than that. I can't even fully remember.
And I wouldn't be surprised if around that time, once that was like phased out. But we do have this Walmart credit card. You know what I mean? Like
everyone got credit cards. Yep. And Afterpay.
Yeah.
We're going to be out here buying Whopper Juniors on Afterpay here soon. Just you wait.
What the fuck would you do, a Whopper Junior?
Listen, I was around, again, old person rant. I was around when it was 2 for $5 Whoppers.
Hey, listen.
It's 2 for $5 Whopper Juniors now.
Yeah, I don't know if you remember them JBCs, like Junior Bacon Cheeseburgers at Wendy's. Used to be $1.
Used to be $1.
I would crack that fucking piggy bank open and, just...
Up in there real quick. Now you can't buy a combo meal for under $10 almost nowhere.
It's wild, but I have been seeing something that was talking about like it's becoming a sentiment around most people that like fast food is like too expensive. So everybody's starting to like cook at home again.
Yeah, or just go to a restaurant.
Yeah.
The only difference between the prices at restaurants and fast food now is tipping.
Right.
But even that's changing because they want the tips at the fast food places now.
This motherfucker, like, I went to go get some Kohl's because I had some hookah or whatever, right? I went to go get some Kohl's, and this lady at the front, she, like, spun it around and then pointed at, like, the 10% tip. And then I was like, no. And then just hit that, like, no tip. I'm like, what the fuck did you do to earn a tip here? Like,
right.
Like, so all right, I'm about to air these people out. Okay.
Nope, I get you because wait, it's lava, ain't it?
Nah, it ain't lava.
Oh, okay.
Nah. I mean, well, yeah, it was lava. That's fine. Yeah, that was lava.
I know. I go there too.
Yeah.
I think the same time. Sometimes I tip, sometimes I don't. And I'm just like, you can't go nowhere, man, without this fucking tablet being turned around.
See, I think tipping etiquette is if you did something extra other than your job. I mean, like something extra that pertains to your job, right? Because like, so servers in a restaurant, yeah, you should always tip. I don't give a fuck if they did bad service or whatever. You still should always tip because they get paid less than minimum wage, right?
Yeah. At most, if you didn't do the bare minimum, I just will tip you underneath the 10%, or I'll tip you 10% if you did a bad job. But I'm not going to leave nothing.
Yeah, I'm like a 15% minimum when it comes to like restaurants. Like that's just the standard, right? If they do really good, then I'm just like, oh, we go up from here.
Yeah.
But if all you did was hand me the thing that was on the shelf and then you want to tip for that, absolutely not.
Yeah, that kind of shit's getting old where it's just like you go in, you hand me 3 boxes of shisha, and then it's like, and then they never ask you if you want a tip. The question is always, or what they always say is,
How much?
It's going to ask you a quick question here. Just say would you like to leave a tip? Stop. It feels very ingenuine. Just say, would you like to leave a tip? I'm tired of playing this game with y'all.
Because you know what? The more that they do that, the more that like it becomes more commonplace and whatnot. And then I don't feel bad when I have to manipulate people when I'm delivering to put a fucking tip because these motherfuckers.
All right. When you're delivering pizza, you always need to tip your pizza driver because your lazy ass could have went and got it.
Exactly. Like I know y'all be driving here, there, everywhere. You could have drove like the 5 minutes over to wherever your favorite pizza spot is and tip and not love a tip.
Yep.
Because these motherfuckers, right? So I go out and there's this dude who, and this is the last one of the night. I could have just gone home. But I was like, nah, I'm gonna just take this last one because, you know, we do have it's a little busy. So I go out, I go to this spot. It's like one pizza. So I'm just like, whatever. I'm probably not going to get shit for it anyway. So I get to the door. But what I always do is I get the detailed list of shit, of what they got. And then I have the stuff with like the tip and all that shit and the signature and whatnot. And so what I do is I try to guilt them. So I hand them the pizza and I'm like, okay, and I'll just need you to sign this. And it's got the tip on there. So most people will feel bad. It's like, oh, yeah, I should leave a tip. This motherfucker asked me is, when did y'all start doing this? Like, we've never had people sign and tip, really? Like, you've never had that happen before? So I'm just like, no, we've always done that. It's like, I don't know, other drivers don't do that, but I do. And he's like, no, we've done all of that shit online. And I'm just like, okay, I hope I get you again. Because I've done this before. Somebody was like they'll do that. They'll not tip, but then also have like a contact list, right? So I don't have any obligation to hand you that pizza. So what I'll do is I'll just leave it on there, ring the doorbell, and dip. It's like, yeah, you can fucking bend down and get that shit yourself.
Right.
Like, I don't give a fuck about the job. I could get fired tomorrow and not care. So I hope I get that. Actually, matter of fact, I'm probably gonna ask them if they come up again. Let me deliver that shit.
just to fuck with them.
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's again, you're doing something that it saves them effort. Yeah, and it's like tip the pizza driver. Always tip the pizza driver. Tip your server. But it is just so out of hand now, and like, I don't care what you call it. The grocery store is asking for tips too now because every time you go to the store, it used to be, oh, well, this month we're giving to the children's hospital. This month we're giving to people with addiction needs. This month we're giving Toys for Tots. There's always would you like to round up to the nearest dollar for blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm not giving you a tax break.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, that's exactly what you want. It's like, you're going to use part of this revenue and say that it was a donation and you're going to get tax breaks for this shit. It's like, no one is falling for that shit.
Do you remember on Don't Be a Menace when Ashtray and Loke Dog, when they were in that convenience store and he started shooting, and that lady was just like, oh, that was $500. You give me money.
You give me money. You pay for that. Go ahead.
They might as well just hire her to just come up while you're doing transactions. Like, you give me money. You give me money now. 100%. Because we're like, this basically the same shit.
Eventually, what's going to happen is the stores are going to go back to actually having registers instead of self-checkout, and they're going to want you tipping them. Like, oh, well, that's because I'm working the registers. Like, I'm tired of this shit. I am.
Yeah, and then it's just like, okay, you didn't tip. That's fine. You know, Was hoping to eat tonight.
Right? It's like, well, I guess kids, we're going to have to walk part of the way home. We're going to run out of gas along the way.
They're going to hire a family just to sit in the corner and shiver, even though it's like, climate controlled in there and fucking.
Rather than tipping the people. It's like I got a whole family on hire. See, what I do now is anytime if I do something for somebody afterwards, I'm just going to go,
Oh, right. That's the way to do it.
My wife sent me a video of that where it's like the husband asking for a tip anytime he does anything around the house. It's like, time for me to take out the trash. She's like, okay, babe. And you just go,
That's a good idea.
Just start tip.
I hope my girl don't hear this episode because I might have to do that to her.
So you're going to have to. Well, what's the tip culture like over there? Is it like how it is here?
Non-existent.
Non-existent.
You don't tip over there.
You know why they don't do that in other parts of the world? Because they actually give people fair wages. Sometimes.
I was gonna say,
in progressive places, like Europe, they give people fair wages.
You know what? It's just a matter of just, hey, listen, this is the cost of living. Mm-hmm. I think we should adjust this so then, like, if you're working, you could afford to pay for the cost of living here. That only makes sense.
But they also charge for everything in some places. Like I believe, again, Europe, there's places there where for you to use the public bathroom, you have to pay money.
Okay, I'll just pee on the door.
Right? It's like, I mean, you can let me in or I'm going to piss on this door.
It's got to go somewhere. I mean,
right?
Nah, man. Like shit like that. I saw this dude, he was talking about like we get taxed like 30%, which I found somewhere around there is right. Mm-hmm. We pay less than like a lot of other countries. Like they're closer to like 50. So I'm like, what the fuck are y'all complaining about? So even just something like that, where you would have to pay to use like public restrooms or whatnot.
There's things that are better here than about living in some other places. But I also at the same time like, we 30% sure. If they told me, hey, we'll tax you 40% and you will have universal health care, I'll take that probably in a heartbeat because that's more than what that's probably still less than what I'm paying in health care right now. And then like, even if it's a little more, I'll do that if that means I don't have to pay no more fucking co-pays. Mm-hmm. Any procedure I want to get costs me no money.
And then you'll see a lot of people who would actually go to the doctor rather than just like, it's like you got something wrong with your car and you're just like, all right, I'll just be able to make it to the end of the month.
And then you let it go further and further. And then, now because I didn't bother getting that new tire, not only did the tire pop, now my tire rod's fucked.
Right, exactly.
And now you got to pay even more money. Yep.
So it costs more to be poor.
It does.
So we need to rob the rich.
Exactly. It's like, just give us what we're asking for, man. And we will be good. Like, dude, if anyone who's not for universal health care obviously doesn't go to the dentist, because if you go into the dentist, you would know it's like anytime you want something done, it's almost always going to be $1,000.
Listen, okay. I want universal health care and I don't go to the dentist now.
It's terrible though. Like I got like $7,000 worth of tooth shit I need to get done. I'm like, well, I guess I'm not getting that done because why would I drop $4,000 on my teeth?
Yeah, exactly. Unless you putting some like, platinum teeth in, right? Like
right. Give me fucking shark teeth.
I mean, yeah.
Turn me into riffraff. Iceberg Simpson.
Oh shit! I heard about that guy a couple of years ago.
Right. I wonder if he's even alive still. Riffraff is like, God, if I had to have an analogy for what riffraff is, he's like every bit of like what you imagine a wigga to be, but like I don't know, like something about him just don't feel right.
It's like I was thinking of something like the phrasing of like trailer park fresh or something like that. Like
I would say trailer park fresh.
Yeah.
Like that makes perfect sense. I'm like, he's just, I don't know, something about him just unsettling.
I listened to like maybe like 2 songs. I'm just like, nope, this is fucking garbage. But hey, you know what? That's what people love.
Right? They loved him. I remember he was very hyped for a while. I'm trying to remember, was it him or James Franco in that movie Spring Breakers with Selena Gomez?
I don't know because I don't watch movies.
Maybe it was James Franco. I can't remember, or no, I think James Franco was playing someone who was essentially riffraff.
Oh, really?
Is what it was, and it's like, bro, he off. Like, I don't know about people like this. Is the kind of person your daughter, you really don't want your daughter hanging around him because like she gonna come back a cokehead and out of her mind. Like she will not be the same afterwards.
He would get carded at Walmart.
Yep, absolutely. Because it's like, we don't know what you were doing with these products, sir, but
It's
we
like,
don't
yeah,
want you to have them.
It can't be good. Listen. You know, you got to go get your mama. You got to like you get her to approve because we know what you up to.
You were allowed to buy bread and water. That's it, sir. We trust you with nothing else.
He's like, all right, well, I'm gonna get Jesus. We gonna turn this into.
He gonna get everything for me with his sharp teeth.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
there's I don't know, man. There's a bunch of like, you know, I feel like he's just a joke rapper, but somebody like him and then fucking Lil Dicky.
Lil Dicky.
Now Dicky got skill,
He got
skill.
got bars.
but he's still like a joke rapper.
Yeah.
And it's weird because like I see a lot of people like universally just love that style because it's like, yeah, we love hip hop, but this is funny and blah
It's
blah
a
blah
satirical
blah.
rap.
Yeah.
And honestly, it's like, I like satirical rap. Like, Eminem is satirical in the extreme kind of sense. Dicky is more of that outlier, what's the word I'm looking for? Unconventional, awkward kind of satirical rap. Like, dude, I masturbate all day and then I rap about it. Like, it's weird, but it's like you relate to it because it's like, you ever just make a stupid ass song about some shit that you're doing and you're just like, but it's a banger
it's
though.
like,
But
yeah.
you're just like, but you wouldn't ever release it because it's like, I said some terrible things in this song about myself.
Okay, I'll put it like this. I think Dicky is what Gambino or Donald Glover would be if he wasn't taking rap serious.
He is exactly that. He is what Donald Glover in the early days probably would have essentially
like
been if
Derek
he stayed
Comedy.
that way.
Yeah.
That comedy rap.
Speaking of him, did you ever watch that Mystery Team movie?
Mystery Team.
Because it was like, so he had the troupe Derek Comedy before, you know, maybe before Gambino, but he had a group. It was like him and like two other dudes and whatnot. And they they had this movie. It was called Mystery Team about like these kids that like had a investigation crew when they were young, but then they kind of like grew up and never grew out of that. And so like the whole movie is them finding out about like a drug deal, and like shit just gets wild. But then like there's like this mid part of the movie that just always cracked me up. And he was like something happened and he's like, fuck. And they're like, oh, you said an F word. He's like, yeah, I've been practicing behind school and I like it. It's just fucking
Gambino
stupid.
has this? Like, he's in this movie?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to look this up. You said
Yeah,
Mystery Team?
Mystery Team, yeah.
I'm gonna have to look this up. I love like everything he does. I need to watch Community next because I just finished Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. Community. Man, I loved Community for like a good 3 years. And then like the whole Chevy Chase shit. And
I heard it took quite a turn eventually, and then it just got to the point where it's like, okay, and it seemed like he kind of transitioned a little bit after that. I was very anti-Gambino in my youth because it was just too many people were dick riding him. Same reason I didn't like J. Cole. I'm like, it's because you're all telling me to like J. Cole and Childish Gambino that I don't want to like him because I don't want to follow the hype. But then I'm like, there's actually some bars here.
Yeah, I think in the early days, because like I liked Freaks and Geeks, and then I listened to some of Camp, and I was just like, I mean, like it's basically like girls and dick, which I mean that's how a stand up is and whatnot. It just it didn't feel like it was anything serious, but it wasn't until because of the internet that I was like, oh shit, you know, he's actually like putting some real work in that.
Oh yeah, I feel like Childish Gambino and Josh Johnson might actually be the same person.
They might be,
because I'm like, their mannerisms, the way they talk, the way that way that they sound, I'm like, this seemed like the same nigga to me right here. Like, maybe that's why I like Josh Johnson so much. Because like for a while there, I didn't know what was going on in the world if Josh Johnson didn't tell me. I was that hooked. I'm like, I gotta listen to all his videos because I'm like, because you know something would happen and that motherfucker has a video up the same day, and I'm like, God damn.
And he dude just poofed out of fucking nowhere.
Nowhere.
He was just like, I'm Josh Johnson, and sometimes I just like to go outside, you know, just like
stare at white people.
Yeah. It's just
He's
like
so weird.
Yeah, but I love his shit. He's got a podcast with like, I forget the other chick's name.
Oh, he has a podcast?
Yeah, he has a podcast
I'm
with
gonna have to listen to that.
some woman and whatnot. But then it's also with well, there was an episode with who's that other black contributor on the Daily Show? like the little heavy.
Because he's on there too, isn't he?
He was on an episode. I remember.
Okay, that's
that
right.
I heard.
It was a joke
Because
episode.
like me and Rick we were rolling. He was listening to that. But I was tired as fuck, so I can't even remember. But nah, it was funny. Like that chick, because they were going off. They were going off and talking about like are certain things like still tomato soup, right? So it's like, okay, well then is ketchup tomato soup? Okay,
I would say that's a fair assumption.
Is marinara sauce tomato soup? Like it was just dumb shit like that, right?
What are you eating? Tomato soup? That's ketchup. Yeah, tomato soup. Like
That's
I said.
what I mean. Like, but no, that podcast's funny as hell.
What's the name of it?
I forget.
I'm gonna have to look it up. I'm gonna Google it after this.
Yeah, you're gonna have to find it
listen.
because I was like that night. Me and Rick did like an hour show, right? And then we went to do karaoke, and then like I was falling asleep on the way back, but I'm laughing, but like I'm tired of laughing, so it's just that little
paying attention.
Yeah.
It's great. He's like perfect millennial humor. Like, it's that I feel awkward, but I'm awkward funny.
Yeah.
It's like I've always felt like comedy really is just laughing at someone else's pain.
Yeah.
It's just the shit someone else goes through, and it's like, oh, this would be funny, but it's like at the time of it happening.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I say this, I like to say when I know the act that they're doing at that moment, I call that comedian that. So like, I'll call Eddie Murphy from Raw, Eddie Murphy Raw. I'll be like, oh, Eddie Murphy Raw. That shit was hilarious how you said your mama boomeranged the shoe. He's like, that shit hurt, nigga.
Yeah, like, right.
But that's it. That's what it is, though.
But that's like that coping mechanism from trauma. Like, you know, I think about like shit that's happened like with the accident of the DUI and whatnot. You know, I could just talk about that whole thing because, you know, the whole situation was fucked up because, you know, we went out. I had a good day. You know, I was running like 110 efficiency at work. So I was like, bet, let's celebrate. Got me some shots. I was kicking it with the crew. We was having a good time. And then I got hit, right? And I'm still mad I didn't get no fucking Denny's from that night.
That's it, though.
Yeah, like that kind of shit.
My night got fucked up, and the whole time I'm like, fuck. I got slammed, but I never got a grand slam.
Yeah, there you go.
Like, that's it. That is comedy right there.
Yeah.
That's what makes it raw and real. It's like it was turning a negative into a positive.
Yeah,
more than anything.
and just like I love comedy that's like that because it's like, yeah, you know, because there's a certain point where they kind of like lure you into like a false sense of security and then just smack the shit out of you with something just absurd.
You just invested in it, and it's like, oh, goddamn, I forgot they were doing a bit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like there was a whole setup to all this there. So it's like, you know, being a comedian is no easy thing because it's like it is taking people on that journey, getting them to the best comedians can desensitize you from the situation and make you not look at it like, they'll make you look at it like, oh wow, that's interesting, that's crazy, and then just bam, you forgot you were listening to a joke.
You gotta be a good storyteller, you know, and you know, obviously, like there's some people who are just like farts, and then it's just like you know, like, you're just there, and then other people who are just like, you know, weave some poetry into like what they're talking about, dicks, and then it's just like, yeah, like that.
No, it's definitely moments like that. Like I went to when I went to last year for my anniversary, went to Oklahoma, and there was some poetry, and it was like a contest. People were doing everything there, and then all of a sudden, I see this little dude in a Rey Mysterio mask, and so I'm thinking like, okay, he's got a mask, he's got a belt, he about to, you know. He got a love for wrestling. That's what it's got to be. That's why he's over here dressed like this. So he probably about to like read us some sort of poem towards like either a female or male wrestler he's like in love with, or just his love for the sport of wrestling. And then this motherfucker comes up, puts the belt down. I didn't expect his voice. He's like, yeah,
oh no,
I'm gonna put my lips on your pussy. I was like, I was not ready for that. I was not ready for that. I do not expect a grown ass motherfucker in a Rey Mysterio mask carrying around a wrestling belt to come up and go, I'm gonna lick your pussy. It's like, that is the most bold thing I have never seen an awkward person just do.
Hey, but you know what? You know, there was a little drizzle in somebody's crotches.
Somebody got moist as fuck from that. Was like, you know what? I'm gonna let him 619 while we 69. And it was just like, oh Lord, man, people are crazy. It is crazy out here. I love it.
I kind of want to like because there's comedy nights over at like Vorshay's, and I kind of want to go up there and just check it out because stand up is just I love stand up, but I don't watch enough of it.
See, I've been wanting to take my shot at stand up there, and I need to just sit down and write out my jokes. Like I never take the time to actually write them out, and I'm like I need to sit down and craft the stories properly.
Yeah,
and so it's like.
And it's a lot harder than you think because like some people would be like, oh yeah, it'd be funny. We'll talk about like that shit that happened last weekend, man. That was hilarious. But it's like it's hilarious just with the context of like your group and what you find like your humor, and then you do it in front of other people, and they're just.
Especially when you do it in the context of like a open mic, for example, where it's like, people didn't come here and pay for a comedy show. This is random people coming up here. So people are just talking about whatever it is they want. There's no order. There's no specific person. Most of them came to see. They might be talking throughout your entire set. And you got to figure out how to, one, not feel like you're being ignored, but two, draw them into where you stop that sidebar conversation and get them going.
Yeah. So, and that's the other thing, too, is just being good with, like, crowd engagement, too. Like, a lot of people can't do that.
No, they can't.
But, you got to be comfortable in the element. Like, even just something like this. Like, I know there's going to be a number of people who are listening. They're like, oh, man, I hate that motherfucker's voice. It's like, I don't care. We abuse our listeners because that's what we like to do.
That's what we do. And so we gotta try out different things and do them. I'm telling you, one day if we ever do a live show like that, I think if we did a live show at like Vorshay's, that would probably be pretty dope.
Yeah, I think we should do that.
I think it'd be good. Do you mind if I do a quick joke that I have been kind of working on? I need to still workshop it some, but audience of one.
If I don't laugh, I'm deleting this episode.
All right, fine. So the whole episode's on my back now. So, I'm a 90s kid, right? You know how it goes. We grew up back in the day. We were outside. We ran around. We rode bikes, that kind of shit there. But more importantly, that's back when men were men.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We had our dads that were like, hey, don't cross your legs. Lower your voice. Like, not as in you too loud, as in your voice too high pitched.
Right.
Don't put your hands on your hips. Those kind of things. Because, your daddy don't want you to have sugar in your tank at the end of the day. Little did my dad know that because I'm diabetic, I would have sugar in my tank one day.
Okay.
So that's not like an opener or a closer, probably like a mid-like thing, but
you gotta like reference that before you hand, beforehand, because it's like ain't nobody gonna know until
I drop it. That's one of those ones that I'm like, I'll probably mention something about being diabetic earlier in the conversation and then just randomly wrap that in.
Yeah.
To where, like you said, that engagement where you've completely forgotten what the fuck I'm talking about. And then you're just like, oh, goddamn, this motherfucker again.
Yeah. You gotta be like you get up on stage or whatnot and you get like a cocktail that's got some sweetness, but ooh, man, that's, I'm gonna have to take some insulin for that shit.
Ooh, that's going to cost me about $100 for that drink. And insulin.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
It's funny thing is when you said that though.
What's that?
I had my legs crossed.
You do. See, I've heard that it's okay to do it like this. Like a man can sit like this. Not a problem. But lo and behold, if I do this, it's suddenly feminine. It's like, so let me get this straight. Me over here exposing my scrot and asshole is masculine, but me just, crossing my fucking ankles is a woman thing.
Well, what if it's doing like the whole fucking like that shit? Doing the whole
now,
like
that's just uncomfortable. No one who's sitting like that is comfortable. Like, let me put my knee up to my chest.
Just squishing the fuck out of you.
Right? I'm like, why do you even do that? That doesn't feel good. Yeah, well. I'm also fat, so like folding up like that just don't work for me.
Well, you know what? I'm sorry to hear that because it's comfortable as fuck.
I can't do it. I don't like it. Too much stomach in the way.
All right. Well, I think we might have to like say goodbye.
I think so, but it's so hard to say goodbye
to yesterday. For a second, I thought you was doing some Negro spirituals.
Thought about it.
Well, this has been the Y'all Points Podcast. We want to thank you for listening. Make sure that you like, share, subscribe. We want to get to 2 million listenings before the end of this year. So make sure you share with your friends. Make sure that, you just spread by word of mouth because, we say it every week, but we really do appreciate putting on a show for y'all. And, we really want some appreciation too. So
agreed. And we love the crowd engagement. And hey, if you'd love to see us in engage with the crowd in different ways, please tell us, because we truthfully want to know what our audience likes. Do you want to see us play Monopoly on a live stream? Do you want to see us out at Vorshay's or somewhere like that doing a live panel? Talk to us. You know, we'll make it happen. We'll be there. And the only thing we ain't gonna be at is a Diddy party unless we run in commentary, but we can't be on the camera. Don't put us on the tapes.
Listen, you know, and just so you know, like, we do see who listens to our podcast. You know, we get the Spotify names and whatnot.
We see you all the time.
You know, if you don't share with your friends, then you might catch a you know, a picture in your inbox of something you don't want to see. Maybe A2 crossing his legs naked on a couch. So I'm just saying, we don't want to do that. So
if you don't like, share, and subscribe, I'm going to come in your house and I'm going to open up all the cereal boxes that have been unopened. Those Lucky Charms that you were saving for after the Honey Nut Cheerios, nah, they stale now, bitch. Too late.
Yeah, you know what? Even if you do decide to eat them, I'm going to just put this threat. This is the best threat in the world. So I'm going to put tax in your cereal in 2 years. They'll forget about it by then, so you just be like...
Just little shards of broken glass. Like, yeah. That wasn't no damn Cracker Jack.
All right, we got to get the fuck out of here. I go by the name of A2.
This is Tim the Chat Man.
And we
are
out of here.
Peace.